Everyone, I've opened up the extra credit now. So where you'll find it is under discussion boards on your left column, where all your table of contents is in Blackboard. And if you open it up, you'll see 5 options there. And just like anywhere else, you click the link, extra credit 1, you click it and it opens up. That's where you'll turn it in. But I want to go over a couple things before I get into the actual assignments themselves. This is extra credit work, right? Meaning it's not just a freebie. You're going to work for this, right? If you choose to do it. There's several 2 or 3 page paper options, just like you would write your papers on your meetings if you're in 1300 or your next paper coming up in 1305. But they're only worth 50 points, not 100. So they're also graded just the same, except for they're only worth 50 points. So remember that's more, right? So, or that's less, I should say. It's more off. So these aren't just freebies. The reason they're extra credit is because you want to lift a grade up you didn't get a good grade on, right? Or a good enough grade that you felt good enough with. If that makes sense. Ideally is if you've made a 0 on a grade, you can't do an extra credit for that assignment. If you didn't turn in an assignment, this isn't what this is for. This is for if you have a grade you didn't like, that you didn't get what you thought you should or what you wish you would have hoped for. This is what this is for, to bring that grade up. Each of these are worth 50 points. All 5 of them are worth 50 points. Again, they're work. If you're going to use these to increase your grade, they're going to be work. You got to understand that. They're not just some free, cheesy little assignment, right? These are assignments built to help you as LCDCs, right? So let's jump into those. Remember, they have to be followed to the letter. APA writing, amount of resources listed. Some have 3 resources needed. Some have 2. You have to read these to the letter and follow this. Look, part of what we do is about following instruction. Right? At a treatment center, you're going to have to follow instructions. So keep that in mind. The first one is research any drug, illicit or legal, and write a 2 to 3 page paper on it. And there's some prompts here, the history, how does it affect society? How do we treat it? A minimum of 3 scholarly resources. Your textbook needs to be 1, and all that's written there. And then there's the instructions, right? So let's say you had a 50 on a quiz that was worth 62 points. And everything else you have 100 on. You decide you want to do one of these extra credit assignments. It'll bring your grade up to the 62, right? That's it. It won't give you 50 points. You're not going to get over the allotted max amount of points, but it will bring your grade up for whatever assignment you want to use it on. Extra credit 2, research the requirements to become an LCDC. Write a 2 to 3 page paper on that. What degrees needed? What are the requirements to obtain a licensure? What kind of continuing education is needed once you're licensed? Include information on IC and RC, NADAC, and TAB. Why are they significant to the LCDC? You may use the websites for resources. You need at least 2 on this. So I want these to be written as a free-flowing thought of ideas, not as, these prompts are just ideals. They're not something you have to follow. I don't want subheadings, right? We want it to be one free flow of ideas. So extra credit number 3 is the roles of an LCDC. They may include counselor, group facilitator, educator, case manager, discharge planner, client advocate, right? Write a 2 to 3 page paper on those roles and how they affect our clients and how you intend to use those roles, or where you think what will be helpful in those roles. Like, same thing, 2 resources, textbook should be 1. Now, this is the one, if you're only going to do 1 assignment, if you do any, I would recommend you do this one, is number 4. And that is to create a minimum of 3 page comprehensive list, a 3 page comprehensive list of resources in the Houston area that include resources for SUD care and treatment. This list of resources should include resources for specific populations that include veterans, disabled individuals, LGBTQIA, homeless individuals, low cost, high end, faith-based and non-faith-based, gender-specific, professionals, co-occurring, cultural preferences, suicidal ideation, etc. Right? Meaning, have a variety of references. I've used my practice as your first example of what it should look like. I want you to hear me on this one. Space this at a 1.115. And here's why we're deviating from the 2-point double space, right, is because this isn't an assignment you turn into me. I mean, yes, you'll turn it in, but this is for you to keep. You will use this the rest of your career. I promise you, I keep one of these just like this because I have lots of people I refer to and do different things. This is something you'll use. So if you're only going to do one, do it on this one, but I want a minimum of 4 or 5 on each page. And if you double space, it takes up, you only sometimes can get 3. So a minimum of 5 like this on each page, right? Keep that in mind. You need 3 pages. Again, if you don't know where to start to find these resources, just shoot me an email or a phone call or a Zoom or something, and we'll talk about where to start to look for these resources. We're only as good as our resources. Keep that in mind, right? So you can use mine as the first one, as I use as an example. There's your first resource. Then number 5, present me with an idea of something. Maybe you don't like any of these. Maybe you want to, if you present me with, I'm going to write a paragraph on something, I'm going to tell you no right now, right? Keep in the same framework, but present me with something. I've had people write papers on all kinds of different things that was important to them. And so I'm offering you that as an opportunity as well. So pay attention to your point totals. Look, not mandatory by any means. This is exactly what the title says, extra credit. If you choose to do it, do it. If you don't. That's okay either way. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out.